Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik from Figured Out Productions. The following video is a video of some kind, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and today we're going to be talking about this. This is a brand new Sega Dreamcast game called Magic Pockets. For those who don't know, and I'm sure you're sick of hearing it if you do know, the Sega Dreamcast still gets brand new games every once in a while, but those games don't come from major companies like Sega. They come from independent developers and publishers. And congratulations to the Dreamcast. We're in its 20th anniversary. At the time I released this video, we're only a couple days away from its 20th birthday, at least in North America. It already had its 20th last year in Japan. I'm going to try and do a video on the day of on the actual 20th, but also if you're in anywhere around Parsippany, New Jersey, on September 7th, I'll actually be there at a convention called AVGC. I've been there for the past few years, and we're going to be doing a 20th anniversary panel for the Dreamcast. We're also going to be giving away some cool stuff that's Dreamcast related. So if you're in the area, hopefully you can come on out. And if you're in anywhere near outside of Los Angeles, specifically Burbank, you can come out to Game Realms on the exact same day. Corey Marshall, the voice of Rio, will be hosting an event at Game Realms that's also about the 20th anniversary of the Dreamcast. We kind of split duties this year. So I'm essentially in New York and he's essentially in LA. So it'll be fun. But anyway, so we're here to talk about this game, Magic Pockets. Now the story with this game is I talked to the publisher, which is a company called JoshProd. Now JoshProd's become a superstar in the Dreamcast scene because he's basically responsible for every release that comes out at this point. In this case, he did what he usually does, which is he's not a developer. He goes out and finds games that he likes for one reason or another and puts them onto the Dreamcast, typically. They can be oddball games, they can be lost games that finally got releases or whatever. Or in a lot of cases, they're games that he really enjoyed when he was a kid and has decided to enhance and bring about new releases for. This falls into that category. Magic Pockets is not a game I'd ever heard of. It was a game developed by a studio called Bitmap Brothers, and it was originally released on PC, Amiga, Atari ST back in like 1991. And he apparently really loved it as a kid, and now as an adult, he eventually bought the license to the game. He got a hold of the original development team, and he had some changes made. He actually did what I guess you would call the definitive edition of the game. They created brand new music. I know that was one of their biggest focal points of this release, was brand new music for it. They put it on the Dreamcast. They also put it on the Sega Genesis. So there you go. We have a brand new Sega Genesis and Dreamcast game now, which is really, really cool. And for those who are curious, these releases, if you've never seen one of these before, even though Sega has nothing to do with them, these are not like pirated garbage. Like, they're not made by some guy who burned them with a CDR and then just threw them down there. This isn't an Etsy project or anything weird like that. Like, the discs are completed, they're sent to factories, they're pressed on professional discs, they are given nice artwork and full manuals and everything like that. Really very cool. They're also completely region free, so the aesthetic you see, this is the North American / Japanese style. There are European versions of this, although they're purely cosmetic, because he's actually based, JoshProd, I mean specifically, is based in France. So yeah, it makes sense that he would have a lot of PAL versions of this stuff. But as I said, that's purely cosmetic. The games are region free. It mostly boils down to which artwork do you like the best. If you're in North America, one of the best distributors for this is going to be Videogames New York, who I should have mentioned before. He actually supplied me with this copy of the game for the purposes of review, so thank you to him. I'll put a link in the description to Video Games New York. Also, if you go to AVGC, a lot of the games that we're going to be giving away there are supplied by Video Games New York all the same, so very cool. Anyway, taking a look at it, that's the front art style there. That's the more Japanese style. Now, in traditional JoshProd fashion, he gives you a color manual that is reversible, and the other side is the American style. So you can flip it like this and see both the Japanese and American style. I typically leave it in the American style because I am an American. And then inside you can see that it's got pictures, ads for other games that they've done, the controls, and some credits, and that's about it. And then you also have nice rear artwork here. Looks good. It has a description that says, Magic Pockets. The Bitmap Kid is ready to do anything to recover his favorite toys. The Bitmap Kid transports you in Pocket Land, a fantasy world where everything is possible. Venture into many levels where you have to crush your enemies with a multitude of weapons. It's basically a platformer, a 2D platformer from back in the day. One that I had never heard of, and I always really like 2D platformers, so I'm very curious to see how I will ultimately like this game. And of course there's the disc artwork and the disc itself. It looks really good, actually. Very, very cool.
All right, it is gameplay time. So yeah, there's this kind of cool animated intro here from the game. I assume this was in the original like PC, Atari ST, and like Amiga version. I don't know if this was necessarily one of the enhancements. Although the game, aside from the music, I noticed while playing it, it does actually have certain enhancements that I'm pretty sure the original version wouldn't have had. I don't think I end up showing this in the footage anywhere, but if you ever press the Y button on the Dreamcast controller, it ends up kind of downgrading all the image, and I can only assume that that's like what it was originally meant to play like. And then if you undo it, which this is the version where it's not degraded, I think this is the enhanced mode. Basically they did like a cleanup version, but you also I think have the option to play in its original display. It's basically what I'm trying to say here. I also cut out some load times there because I just wanted you guys to get to the platforming gameplay elements, because honestly that's the most important part of this whole thing, which I'll talk about in a second. But I do want to say that going back to the visuals for a second, this game does support VGA mode, and I actually have it running through an M Classic on top of that, so you can get enhanced resolution and all that kind of fun stuff, which you can check out a video I did if you're curious what that is. But yeah, so the gameplay itself, it's okay. I've played better platformers before. I've played much worse platformers before. This one it's kind of middle of the road in my opinion. You basically go around and just kind of toss these like little tornado type of things, and you have to attack a bunch of enemies, and then there's some puzzle elements to it where you have to kind of figure out like how to escape a certain area. Usually it's, you know, throwing stuff at the wall until the wall breaks, or using a super power up to escape the area you're in, like that type of thing. The little tornado things I'm throwing, like for example, you could make into like a super tornado and escape that way. And then there's some random stuff that I didn't totally figure out, like this TV, like when you activate it, you can just kind of see this little map, and I assume the little star points are remaining villains, but I didn't seem to have the ability to move the map around. I think it was just meant to give you kind of a look at your nearby surroundings, I guess. Kind of a strange game. Like I said, not bad. You know, maybe it's one of these games where I would have had to have played it more when it was actually, you know, relevant when it first came out. Because playing it now retroactively, it's fine. You know, this is also coming from someone who grew up on a lot of 2D platformers, so I don't know how like a kid today might react to a game like this. I don't know, but it was, you know, perfectly a serviceable gameplay experience. But like I said, there are better ones out there. If you're interested in it, I'll put a link in the description to Videogames New York, and you can check it out there. Also, Pixel Heart, like I said before, if you want the European version. If you guys could do me a solid, please like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. I appreciate that a lot, and I'll catch up with you at the end of the video. I'm just going to let you guys enjoy the rest of the gameplay and the music. And that's it. We pretty much just beat the first level just to give you guys a taste of it. Once again, please like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much to Video Games New York. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later.